Hi, it's us again at Kodabow Crossbows with a couple pointers for you. Let's start out with something real simple. Some folks know it, not everybody does. But if you want to attach your target securely, like to a bag target or range target, we like to use these little things with a plastic available at Home Depot or Lowe's to really kind of grip the target to the target face. We just punch them through the target, and then that nail will go right into your bag target or range target, and you're ready to go. Sounds simple, but I see folks using tape and some other things like that. Really doesn't work as well. So that's one, starting out pretty easy with something pretty low tech. Now let's talk high tech for a second. Let's take a look at Lumenoks. Everybody's interested in shooting, not everybody, but a lot of folks are interested in these LED lights at the end of their arrows. They come in a package, 3 to a pack, relatively expensive, 10 bucks a piece, or really $30 for a 3-pack approximately. And there's a circuit there, and one way you can test it right out of the pack is take a paper clip, slip it over the Lumenok, and attach it, or just kind of push it up, and you'll find 2 contact areas there. And when you get that paper clip right on those contacts, the Lumenok lights, and if it comes off. So what's going on there? What's going on is that in this case we use the paper clip, but when you're putting it in your arrow, you're actually using the carbon fiber in the arrow. So when you put your Lumenok in and it's not on, those 2 contacts aren't touching the carbon fiber.
So here's a picture, a diagram of what exactly is occurring. In this case, the Lumenok could be in the package, or it could be just slightly offset from the end of the arrow. Because those contacts aren't touching the arrow end, the carbon fiber, the Lumenok won't light.
But when you shoot, the force of that pushes that Lumenok into the carbon fiber securely. These 2 little metal contact points that are right on the edge make contact, and it completes a circuit through the using the arrow as part of the conductive path.
Here's a diagram showing the Lumenok and the carbon fiber arrow. Those contacts, if they're 1/1000th of an inch, or they're completely in the package. If they're not contacting the carbon fiber, your Lumenok won't light.
So that's how Lumenoks work a little bit. You can replace the batteries in these. There's a wire there, and you can undo this wire. Then I hold it to the side. A good way to do this is take your piece of sandpaper and pull it out. It allows you to grip the battery, and that's your battery laying right there. And then to reinsert, there's an O-ring on this. I like to get a little moisture and put it on that O-ring and make sure it's seated. And then I push it all the way back into the original position. And then the O-ring set, I'm going to take that wire, which is part of the contact assembly, and wrap it around the metal post or battery post at the bottom. And then I have my 2 contacts here. When I insert this into an arrow, I'm going to be sure that those contacts that we were looking at in our diagram here are not going to touch the arrow hold down, if it's metal for sure, or the rail, which is typically metal, because that can cause a completed circuit, just like the arrow would. So we'll put that in the arrow, and I have, in my case, I like to see them about 9 and 3 o'clock opposed to each other. And when you ram it in, you've completed the contact, and it goes on. Now, how to turn these things off? The way I've been doing it for years is just basically taking my thumb. What you're doing is you're backing that Lumenok off of the carbon fiber 1/1000ths, and we measure things to 1/1000ths around here with our calipers. We're always measuring stuff. A piece of paper is about 4/1000ths thick. In this case, just moving it off even 1/1000ths, and you really don't notice it, and your arrow turns it off. When the bowstring hits it, it goes on. Again, you can push it off. A neat little trick, you can. I'm using a piece of vinyl tubing here, and I'm just going to put it over the Lumenok and grab the Lumenok, and well, let's turn it on. Another way to turn it off is take a little piece of, say, 3/8 inch air compressor tubing, hold the Lumenok, and just shake it. It's another way to back that Lumenok out and turn it off, and it's a little easier than this thumb thing that we do all the time. Now realize that if you push your arrow hard into your crossbow, in this case it's a Kodabow, if you put it on the rail and ram it up there pretty hard, there's a good chance that you're going to turn your Lumenok on. So again, turning it off, you're just backing it out. Enough on Lumenoks. Use a paper clip to test them. It's a good way to go. Now, let's talk about arrows and some things like that. We'll move Lumenoks out of the way. Little trick to turn them off, make them a little easier. Folks are asking us all the time, Chuck, what do you use? What do you think is the best broadhead out there? What do you guys use? And for years, we've kind of been a little ambivalent. We've almost said, hey, it's a personal choice type of thing. I would say with 2014, we're pretty strong on a couple ideas. One, in terms of mechanicals, we absolutely love the Killzone after kind of the 2013-2014 season. Everybody seems to have some great results with them. They stay closed. They lock in place without any rubber bands. And they do slide down, so when they hit a game animal, you're not using a lot of energy to open them. It's a slide down system, and they open to about a 2-inch cut. They have a cutting blade on the front, really good broadhead. Of course, the Spitfire, I think that just dropped on the ground. The Spitfire has been around for a lot of years, opens from the front, kind of the other way mechanicals work. So in the world of mechanicals, it's really one of these two. The one that's been around a while, the Spitfire, or really kind of something that's been pretty new in the last year, but we like it, again, for lots of different reasons. One reason is we measured it. These blades thickness are about 40 thousandths thick, and that makes it one of the thicker blades in the mechanicals out there. Most of the others aren't that thick. So we see this broadhead working well, blowing through ribs without kind of broadhead damage. Just actually was shot through a shoulder on a pretty good sized animal. So Killzone we like, Spitfire we like. Those are those two there. If you're going to go to a fixed blade broadhead, again, we've always been Hellraiser fans, but the difference is you got to shoot them. Those Killzones, you can shoot your field points and then bingo, go right to the Killzone and replace your field point with it and go. In this case, on a fixed blade, I'm always going to shoot them into foam targets in advance and ensure their flight, because they won't fly to your field points. That's guaranteed. So if you've got some time to mess around, half hour, 45 minutes, tool up 6 arrows with some fixed blades, shoot them, make some adjustments. And you notice on our arrows we use a couple different, 3 different colors. We'll always start shooting typically black vein down, and then what we'll do, you can see this one's been marked up, and then the arrow will shoot to a different place, yellow vein down and orange vein down. We can do that because we have a flat knock on Kodabow Crossbows. So in a sense, especially with fixed blades like the Hellraiser, I'm going to tune my arrow and shoot it and just end up with 4 or 5 arrows. 3 of them might be black vein. 1 of them I might have had to switch to orange vein. And I may move these broadheads from arrow to arrow. So for us, it's really kind of the mechanical at one end of the spectrum, or a very solid one-piece steel broadhead like the Hellraiser at the other end of the spectrum. Probably I've grown out of favor with something like anything with replaceable blades, because it's really not as strong as the Hellraiser, and it's not giving me that technology that's now out there with the mechanicals like the Killzone. So I've kind of am dismissing those as kind of a good choice for at least for myself, going to the future. I clearly think the way bows are shooting with more power, that the mechanicals, the arrows fly better, and more than that, you get devastating, absolutely devastating results with at the point of impact. This is a typical photo, a good heart-lung shot. The deer traveled 40 yards, but it's impressive. There's a good blood trail to follow. What you would see typically maybe with a Hellraiser, again, a good result. It's a strong broadhead. But what happens with these mechanicals, especially with the 2-inch cut, it becomes a massive opening, and the hemorrhaging effect is so large and so quick, and especially in some areas now where you hunt, where there's other properties and you want to be concerned that your game animal doesn't travel very far. Our pro staff has been shooting something like the Killzone and have had tremendous results. So, and I'm talking, it's really changed bow hunting for me in that, you know, you used to expect 30, 40 yards of blood trails, sometimes even further. Now we're seeing 5 and 6 yard blood trails, and 20 yards is, I would say, almost the high norm. And that's principally because it's such a large opening and the blood flows throughly, which is the name of the game in a good crossbow broadhead. So, and again, you're going to get pass-throughs with these. You're going to get pass-throughs with your Spitfires. I like the thicker blade. These Spitfires are about 28 thousandths of an inch. And again, we take and measure things like that. So I can take my calipers and throw them on there, and about 28, 29, 30 thousandths. And then when I jump over to a Killzone and take the calipers there, I'm up to 40 thousandths. So again, a substantially, you know, going through ribs, a substantially stronger blade. We're just Killzone fans. Hope it helps you. Attach your targets. A little bit on the mechanics of the Lumenoks moving in and out of the arrow is what causes it to go on. And kind of, if you said, Chuck, what's your favorite broadhead right now? Killzone. Take care. Safe hunting out there.